And we are live. We're live. Good morning on your TV sets there in Texas and Louisiana. You are joining on the Smart Money Culture TV network, as well as folks from around the world joining on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, and the rest. It is a wonderful morning here in the United States. It's a wonderful morning, really, in the markets around the world. It has been flying. Let me tell you what, Ethereum on a major tear. Ethereum. So, if there's any question about how these markets are manipulated by the people in charge, by the elites, and I hate to call them elites, I guess you call them something else, by the people in power, there should be no more question after what happened with Ethereum yesterday. Of course, they've been saying that this Ethereum ETF is not going to go, blah, 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 this and that and the other. And then what did they do yesterday after this has been bleeding out for days, for weeks? The price has been being crushed. I mean, crushed is a relative term. It's like $2,800 or something like that per Ethereum. We were buying them for dollars. They come out yesterday and they say, okay, they're going to rush approve it or whatever exactly they said. The markets go flying. The markets were already up anyway because, of course, inflation is through the roof, and they're printing so much money that everybody wants to get out of the U.S. dollar. Well, most people want to get out of the U.S. dollar. If you're in other currencies, you want to get out of them even more than the U.S. dollar, I guess. But if it's fiat money is not where to be, that's for sure. Not financial advice and all that jazz. So people are running to things like Bitcoin that can't be increased, it can't be diluted. Okay, some of the other ones they can be, okay, but they're still going up. So you want to be in something going up. You want to get out of quickly out of something that's going down, right? So the markets have been flying. Then once they come out with the ETF news, boom, Ethereum goes up 20% in a day. Guys, you guys invest in things and you wait years for a 20% yield. 20% in one day. Ethereum goes flying. Bitcoin up really considerably as well. BNB, strong moves, all of them. I mean, just across the board, you name it. My favorite, the Dogecoin up considerably. Stock market, I think. Let me just look. I was looking at the futures. So the futures on the let's see here, the Dow. The Dow is down a little bit. And as everybody's running into, again, you want to get out quickly of what's going down and in fast of what's going up, right? So as the markets go up, people, of course, start moving their liquidity to where it's going up. So probably there's a bit of an exodus in the paper stocks going into crypto. This morning, though, the Asian stock markets are down. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange down over 2%. Oil's down slightly. Gold, a little bit of a retrace. Oh, that was the other thing. Gold just took off. Gold and silver actually led the charge. We talked about it yesterday. Gold was up like 3%. I think both gold and silver were up 3% yesterday. Silver, the big mover, up above $30. Now, guys, we've been talking about silver and gold since we started this show, and how important it was to get into gold and get into silver, because these are things that are not able to be diluted, right? So you can go to atcostmetals.com. It's totally operational now. Use the referral link clubs, okay? And you can sign up there. It's like $150 to sign up, or it's $3.99, and you get some gold and silver. And you can buy gold and silver just every day at cost. At cost. You can buy gold and silver. Buy yourself one of those silver eagles. Okay, just get like one a month or something. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you can afford. All right? Whatever you can afford. Not financial advice. But these assets, that silver is up over 50% since we started talking about it. We've been doing the show for close to 6 months now. Every day. It has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with my colleagues as well. Matt Dixon is my we're like brothers now. Every morning, every day, it's afternoon for him, and every morning for me. We get together and we do this show. And of course, my brother as well, We will be, but guys, you should get involved in that. I know crypto is scary, right? Crypto is scary. People don't understand it. Crypto scares people. I understand. And they want you to be scared of it. They do. They want you to be scared of it. So if that scares you, get yourself some metal. The US dollar, I talked about this yesterday. People say it's a debt instrument. It's a tax instrument. The US dollar is a tax instrument. If you're holding US dollars, you can be taxed indefinitely, excessively. And not only that, but you are getting it taxed excessively on that US dollar. That US dollar, from its inception, you take a $100 bill, there is 3% of tax immediately put to that, right? That's what the Federal Reserve charges in order to print the paper, right? 3%, about 3%, okay? And then every time they want to take more money from that dollar, so you have the $100 bill, and every time they want to take some of the value of it, they just print more and they dilute the money supply. And this is the favorite thing to do now. This is how Washington operates. Washington has thrown out any even farce of trying to get to a budget that's balanced, and they've just gone to the we're printing money deal. Now, the truth is, they can't ever have a balanced budget if you're paying back the debt with an instrument that carries debt or carries tax. So the whole thing's a farce anyway. It's the biggest scam of this country has ever seen. The Federal Reserve started in 1913. It passed in the dead of night. Woodrow Wilson sold us out. Said later that it was the worst decision he made in his life, but he did it. Okay, and most of the opposition passed away on the Titanic. J.P. Morgan decided, oh well, I'm not going to take that Titanic at the last minute, and he was able to take the biggest insurance payout in the history of the country, very similar to what Silverstein did with the World Trade Center. He decided, oh, I'm not going to work that day. And Larry Silverstein, Lucky Larry, and he collected the biggest insurance payout. And, of course, lived to tell about it. Who knows? I don't know. Pretty interesting, though. But anyway, metal is flying. Bitcoin's flying. Your dollars are going lower. All right? Your dollars are depreciating. Your dollars are depreciating. So now I have here Consensus 2024 behind me, guys. This is a very important event. If you are looking to get into or you want to learn more about what's going on with finance in this crazy world that we have of Bitcoin and crypto. And guys, this is a new asset class. I was buying Bitcoins at $70. They're $70,000 now. And the truth is, I think that probably it's going to keep going up. Do your own research, not financial advice. Looks to me like it's keep going up. I'm more bullish as I've ever been in my entire career of seven-figure Bitcoin. It might not happen this cycle, but I am bullish on seven-figure Bitcoin. We're talking a 10-year, an 8-year, 10-year forecast. Think about what that can do to your life. And then if you take your dollars are going down. Dollars value always goes down, just like the government always gets more. Nobody wants to be the president that comes into office and fires everybody and makes less jobs, right? Like Trump's thing was, I'm the greatest jobs president of all time. Everybody wants to say that, right? They don't want to say, oh, I'm the president that everybody lost their job in. No, nobody wants to do that. So the government, I don't see how it really ever gets smaller. You're going to have to get a guy like me that comes in there and just breaks the whole thing up. I don't know if we'll ever get that. So it might just keep bloating and bloating and bloating and bloating until the whole doggone thing goes up in flames, which is historically how it works. I don't know. We'll see. But government always gets bigger. Taxes always get higher. And the dollar always gets lower value. That's the way it works. Even if it kind of side chops or something like that, your dollar's going down, okay? And since Bitcoin started, you can pretty much say Bitcoin's always going higher. I mean, people were buying it even less than me. I saw it at 50 cents and I thought, wow, that's cool. I saw it at $50. I said, holy smokes, let me get some of that. Consensus 2024, use referral code Bruce. Referral code Bruce. There, you get a 15% discount. Guys, this is the spot. This is it. And then we're doing our wonderful dinner. We're doing our wonderful dinner, our gala dinner, the Washington Elite gala dinner that we've done all over the world. Super excited about it. This dinner, let me tell you, when I tell you guys, this dinner will be the most, this will be our best event yet. And we've thrown some amazing galas, but this one will be our best one yet, I think, by far. We'll see. But you should see, we have a lot of people that have registered for the event. The people that I have approved are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. These are some of the most successful people in finance, in crypto, in politics, this is like everybody's coming to consensus. And so when you put an event on like this that has a good reputation and people know is going to be high end and they know it's going to be everything that they want, and the right people are going to be there, then people want to go. So you can guarantee yourself a ticket there or a table. Follow the link and you can buy one, and that'll guarantee you a place. Or you can register, and we'll go through periodically, and we approve the people. But if you want to come, for sure, get yourself a ticket. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic. That's on May 30th. We are super excited about it. We're super excited about it. We are also going to be, I'm going to go back to my consensus thing here. We are also going to be doing all types of interviews there. We're going to be interviewing a lot of amazing people, bringing them to you here on the Impact Money Show. Impact Money, the Impact Money Show. We also have great partners that have come on. We have absolutely phenomenal partners that have come on. Genius AI, GNUS.ai. Make sure to check these guys out. Genius AI, wonderful things they're doing, impactful things that they're doing. We'll spend some more time on that at a later date. Wonderful what they're doing. We also have as well Exit. Exit is it's a designer token. These guys have built a mall. You can spend your exit tokens shopping, which is, what do you want is buying power, right? You want buying power, and you want that to hopefully go up, right? We have Pacio as well. Pacio, we had on the show yesterday. Pacio talking about sending money to phone numbers, sending crypto to phone numbers all over the world. You don't even need it. And we have more. We're adding more. Really excited about it. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. Consensus will be the event of the year. Mark my words. There's the market as well. I think, unless something crazy happens, I think that the market is going to pump into consensus, which would be a pretty normal phenomenon as well, is if crypto pumps into the big conference like that. So I am super excited about that. I really am. So Trump is, the prosecution has rested for Trump. So the prosecution rests. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think that he's going to be found not guilty there? I'm just I'm kind of curious, I guess, to what people think. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that he's going to be found not guilty? Not, is he guilty or is he not guilty? But do you think that he's going to be found guilty or not guilty? I mean, that's really what what I would like to know. Like, do you think that he was going to be found guilty or not guilty? Do you think he should be found guilty or not guilty? I don't know. I mean, I've watched it a little bit. Obviously, I think it's lawfare, right? I think they're going after him in order, and it is political. I will definitely say that. I don't know. We'll see. Iran is mourning their president. Their president Raisi has passed away in a helicopter crash that, as of now, I guess is an accident. So you have people they're mourning over there. The streets are full, and they are mourning the president. I know that some people feel one way or the other about that. I do not like. I think that we should. Let me see here. Get over the great Matt Dixon. Matt was stuck in traffic this morning. He is about to join. So that's going on. They're all doing that. And then, of course, Trump, Iran, crypto flying, stocks retrace, oil also retraces a little bit. We're about to dive. We're about to do a deep dive. We're going to deep dive into the markets as a whole. We're going to look at gold. We're going to look at silver. We're going to look at crypto. We're going to look at your favorite ones. If you guys want us to chart something specifically, let us know. I feel like we usually run the gamut on what we're going to, on what we show. And I think we do, those are the things that I watch. That's what I watch. I look at the price of oil. I look at the price of gold. I look at the price of Bitcoin, and I look at stocks overall. And that's how you can kind of tell. You look at the DXY as well. DXY is the US dollar index. So you can look at that to see how the US dollar is doing against a basket of other currencies. And that'll tell you a lot as well of what is going on. So yeah, that's going to be that is going to be pretty interesting. It will be pretty interesting. So we'll be broadcasting as well. Normally we are broadcasting. I'm in Washington, D.C. broadcasting, and we will be broadcasting live from Texas, where we're there on your TVs in Texas. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to get Fly Mackie. Hold on. Did I drop that in the wrong place? Do you see the link? Let me see here. Hold on here. Come on. All right. Maybe I was. But yeah. So Fly. If you're watching the show, you should come to Austin. Come to Austin for Consensus. Get a table at the gala as well, and let's talk about it. It's going to be a very important time. One of the things that we're building on this Smart Money Culture TV network is we're to start with 5 different channels, actually. 5 different channels. And they're going to focus on different things. And so if you want to be involved in that, let us know. Go to Smart Money Culture TV, and you can click on the thing to get involved. Contact us. We have Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon is here. He's through heck and high water. He's made it. How are you, Matt?
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, good to be here. As you say, rushing like crazy, but pleased to be here, especially on this amazing day where Bitcoin pushed up exactly as we anticipated and hoped.
Yes.
So,
it sure did. It did exactly what we wanted to do. And that's one thing I'll tell you guys. And, a lot of times the timing can be a little funny, but normally the charts play out exactly the way they're supposed to play out. The timing is what is one of the big factors. they normally do what you think they're going to do.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing here. I was just looking to share my screen. Taking a bit of time today. It can't keep up with me. This is the problem.
Everyone's having a hard time keeping up with you, Matt.
Yeah. So here we go, and hopefully you'll. Yeah, I think it's actually even my internet is struggling to keep up today. Let's just see. So hopefully you can see my Bitcoin chart.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. That's a beautiful chart right there.
It really is, yeah, because we've said over and over again that this move down has been a corrective move. We're expecting impulsive higher, and I've said it's either, well, basically this is a triangle or it's a WXY to the downside. Those are both corrective moves. And so last night was amazing to watch as we got a 5-way moves to the upside. The other day we had 3 waves back down, and then last night we started to see a real impulse in action, and we got a massive pump yesterday from, I think it dipped yesterday to 65,000 something, and we went to almost exactly 72,000 towards the upside, and we're still on 71,400 and 71,035 we're at the moment. So it played out exactly according to the charts, as you say. So many things can be happening. We've got everything aligning, really. We've got all the news coming out, obviously the positive ETF news. We've got positive flows into the ETFs now. I think today, yesterday, sorry, there's well over 200 million net inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs. So really good news there. Obviously, we've got the ordinals, we've got the runes, we've got all those things. And then we've got the fundamentals are looking really, really good there, of course. And also the technicals behind it. So the technicals are the chart patterns that we see. The only thing I would say is we had yesterday potential bearish divergence. And I said that if it breaks just a little bit higher, that will be eliminated. That's exactly what happened. And I had this dotted line yesterday as the resistance. And once it broke through that resistance, it really powered on higher. So these resistances are important to watch. They're good levels to set your risk and reward, but once they break through, the market tends to get some really good follow through, and so there's been some amazing opportunities. And it's not just Bitcoin; we've seen really good follow through. I mean, Ethereum, absolutely amazing pump today, 3,700. XRP. I mean, let's just look at some of those charts. So just look at some of the. Look at that Ethereum. Never seen anything quite like that. That is phenomenal, isn't it?
Phenomenal.
I mean, we were talking yesterday, it was around the 3,000 mark, 3,700. So it's not showing the true percentage gains here. Bruce has probably got better figures. This is updated on a different time frame. But those two green candles are absolutely phenomenal. And again, we said clearly that this was a corrective move. And I think we can even see, although my chart's running a bit slowly today, but we can even see if we drew a trend line. Yeah, beautifully, absolutely beautiful. So we can see pretty well there that we had this trend line that I've just drawn in was basically, it's effectively a bull flag that we have. So before it, we had a rise, and this is the corrective flag blowing in the wind to the downside, and then you get the break to the upside. So again, it was pretty predictable. We didn't know exactly when this was going to end. It's hard to tell with the correction precisely when it's going to end, but we did say at some point when it does end, we're going to get a substantial push to the upside. And Ethereum has, surprised me, to be honest, with the ferocity of that break to the upside there. Really ferocious, and looks like we're going to probably get more follow through. I'm looking ideally for these things. Obviously, there's going to be resistance. If we go back to Bitcoin, clearly there will be some resistance at the previous all-time high. There's always resistance when you look. So the previous all-time high is here at 73,000 something, right up here. Let's just see there, 73,007, somewhere around there, 73,008. So that was the previous all-time high for Bitcoin. Now, clearly, I suspect that is going to be a challenge to break through. But if it breaks through, we could then really push much higher. The next target really is probably around the 84,000 mark. and that coincides with some Fibonacci extensions. So that would be a nice target, but we do need to break through. We have these targets, they're there for our risk reward. We can manage our trades beautifully with them. So if we can break through that, there will probably be a retest of it again, and then a push higher. As I say, if we got to the 74,000 area, retested back to that 74,000 area and then pushed higher, you could potentially see from 74 to 84 quite quickly. And with these sort of flows coming into the Bitcoin ETF, who would say no? And then just look at Litecoin, again, one of Bruce's tokens, and again, one that we've been talking about, saying once again, this is all corrective movement to the downside that we've seen, overlapping movement. We can see that this wave here was overlapping this wave here, so it's corrective. And so we said in advance that we're likely to see a move up. Now the next target for Litecoin is probably the 92 area. That'll be the next overhead resistance to look at. If we break above that, again, it could push much higher. Beyond that could be the 1.618, the golden ratio, that amazing ratio, Fibonacci ratio, the 0.618. So 1.618 will be the next potential extension. That would be at 103 for Litecoin. So if we can push through this 92 area, which is 100% extension, the next stop would potentially be 103. So that's looking really promising. Now this has obviously seen a little bit of weakness, not a lot, but a little bit of weakness. As we said, usually when crypto goes up, it's usually inversely correlated with dollar index. So we can see here DXY, it's down a little bit today. We can see the red candles here. And overall, it's pushing down a bit. We had an ABC higher, which is corrective. So it's highly likely we're going to probably push a bit lower on dollar index. So as we're pushing lower on the dollar, it's really positive for risk assets, particularly cryptocurrency, which are the more volatile, exciting assets, I think, anyway. We can't do without Solana, because look at Solana, what a pump. Again, just very, very recently, we were down at the $118, not that long ago, not long ago at all, in fact, beginning of May, $118. And look at us now, $183. So we're up, what's that, 50%, something like that, must be 50%. And where are we? We're not even at the end of May yet. So absolutely phenomenal. And once again, that was corrective movement down. We had it labeled as WXY, which is a corrective move to the downside. It means that the impulsive direction is still to the upside. So again, we had it nailed in terms of the overall direction is impulsively to the upside. So once again, if we do push higher, there will be some solid resistance at the previous local high at $209, somewhere around there, I think it was. I'll just check on that. It was here, yeah, it's about 29, somewhere around there, $209. So if we can push higher, that will be a serious barrier, which it can break through. And if it does break through, there'll probably be a retest of it, and then again another push higher. But that would be a sensible area for risk reward. So I'll just extend this arrow just a little bit to the previous local high. It's not the all-time high. The all-time high for Solana is about $260. That was made some while back, but the local high, 209. We're likely going to be targeting that sort of area now. And as I say, if we can break through, fantastic, but there's potential for a turn back down. Just have to see how strong the rest of the crypto market is, what happens with US dollar, what happens with US interest rate policy. So we'll be watching out for those inflation figures coming up fairly soon. Even XRP, it's been a little bit muted, but XRP has actually, I just removed that arrow. That arrow, by the way, was the direction we expected from down here. And look how well it's predicted. You can see here, the arrow is very much in the direction of this corrective movement, this sort of support area. So we bounce off support. Again, we can draw a line from here to here to here pretty well. That's the support. We can see candle wicks down, saying that the price was testing lower, but it's actually ascending. So higher highs and higher lows here, or certainly higher lows we're seeing. So that's kind of supportive of price, and we bounced quite nicely. So we've got a good push on XRP, not quite as exciting as I would like. Maybe there's still more to come, and XRP can do that. It can be one of those tokens which can lag a little bit and then can really take off. So, but it's done what we expected in terms of direction. This was corrective to the downside. Again, we can see sort of it is actually a kind of flag, some kind of bull flag kind of arrangement here. So again, lots of potential for more upside on XRP. We'll just check in with gold. So gold has actually remained reasonably robust. We broke to new all-time highs, I think it was yesterday, had a little bit of a pullback. We've not quite reached our immediate target to the upside. So because this was an ABC move to the downside, this could still be another ABC to the upside. So it could still correct lower. But overall, because that was corrected down, I do expect at some point we are going to see new all-time highs again. When I say at some point, I'm not talking about years away. I'm talking about in the relatively near future. We could potentially get a bit more pullback, but either way, we can go either straight to new all-time highs, or if we get a bit of a pullback, we will still, I believe, go to new all-time highs because this is corrective. So gold is looking well supported, and that the same would go for other precious metals as well. But gold and oil tend to be correlated. So whilst we've had a little bit of a pullback, and so far it's in the form of an ABC, oil is highly correlated with gold. And again, we see quite a pullback here. So I'm not sure what's happened on the geopolitical front. I missed this early part of the show and I haven't been up to date with the news this morning, but I suspect there's a bit of calm at the moment because we are seeing weakness on oil.
Yeah, it's, you know, Iran is mourning their the loss of their president, and yeah, it does seem to be quiet on the fronts.
Yeah, so that would equate, you know, again, it's just quite amazing the way you can actually almost read the news from the chart. So you don't know what the news is, but you can tell pretty well what the news is just by looking at the chart. So you can also.
It's so true. That's exactly how I looked at the news this morning. I looked at the charts. I said, okay. And there must not be much going on, and I went around and okay, all right. I mean, there is a lot going on, but not, you know.
Yeah,
not
absolutely. Yeah, and SPX, just checking in on SPX again, you know, at our new all-time highs. We're still, actually, we no longer have, and I mentioned this yesterday. Let me go to the daily because we're on the 4 hour at the minute. I'll just go to the daily because that's a better judge. Actually, we do still have on the daily, which is quite important. We do actually still have bearish divergence. So we can see here higher highs on the price, and we see slightly lower highs. I mean, only very, very slightly. So it's mild, the most mild bearish divergence. But this is indicative of potentially the price, not these massive price rise here, not being particularly well supported by volume. So it's telling you that potentially the market is running out of steam. So this would tell me that potentially we are going to meet some heavy resistance on Bitcoin, on Litecoin, on Ethereum, on Solana, on all of these tokens that are pushing up. When they reach those either all-time highs with Bitcoin at 73,000 odd, or local highs with Solana at $210, I think there's going to be some serious resistance there. And what S&P is telling us is that this market looks as though it could be running out of steam a little bit because we're not seeing the volume pushing up in the same to new highs here in the same way that price is. And this is the daily chart, which is, for me, probably the best time frame to look at these kind of divergences. So just warnings just sounding off very quietly in the background that we need to be cautious. If we've made good profits, protect those profits. You know, maybe put a stop loss nearby that you can at least crystallize some of, I'm sure, undoubtedly profits that people have. If you've been following the news, if you've been following Impact Money, we've been talking quite bullishly about the markets, about how it's been corrected down and we should get some movement up. And that's exactly what's happened. So as I say, if you are, just look to protect those profits. Maybe not take them necessarily, but at least protect some of the profits by putting a stop loss reasonably close by, to ensure you take something out of it, just in case we get a surprise on the geopolitical front. Doge had a good move up yesterday. This morning, it's just pulling back a little bit, same as Bitcoin, actually pulling back a little bit. So we're getting a bit of a pullback over those really tasty profits that we had overnight. So we're getting a little bit of a pullback on Doge, but still it's risen from 15 yesterday when we spoke to 16.5 today. So it's done quite nicely. And same story across the board really for most of those memes. The GameStop, we won't waste much time on it, but it's actually just pulled up a little tiny bit, but it's not a stock that we want to trade. But it's quite interesting because it's a stock meme, and that's why I just keep an eye on it. It is interesting. And we had some amazing move up on Injective, which is one that we featured. Again, we saw some beautiful hidden bullish divergence, and just look at how predictive it was here. So basically got lower lows on price, but higher lows on RSI. This is what's called hidden bullish divergence. So especially as we got a green candle bounce off there, once that green candle closes, that is your entry point. Technically, you enter the market there, and you can see massive profit on that. Now, if you've done that, you can now protect just below where we are now, potentially much higher to go. Now, if this is wave 1 up and 2 down, you've got much, much higher to go. Alternatively, if it's A, B, and we've got C to go higher, we still have, and I won't draw it on now, but potentially 100% of this move here, if you transpose it to here, would give you somewhere around up here, 33 maybe. So still plenty of room for a bit more upside on Injective. It's one of those AI tokens. It's really exciting, and it's seen some phenomenal gains. I think we saw 16% yesterday, if I remember rightly. So, and that was one again that we featured, and I've mentioned it on X. Really good one to watch. So obviously we can continue, but I suppose I'll just touch on ICP because it's one of our favorite.
Yeah, we can go ahead and continue.
Yeah, okay. I mean, ICP has been pretty amazing. Again, we've got this solid movement up here, which looks really impulsive. When you see lots and lots of, when you're talking to the upside, lots of impulsive green candles without any overlap, that's really indicative of an impulsive move, which means with the trend. So the trend, when you're moving back down, it tends to be against the trend. So we've got overlap here, but we also got this move up here, which actually overlaps, this move down. And each time we're getting overlap. So this seems to be some kind of corrective move to the downside. So we're getting nice impulsive moves to the upside. Now, ICP was another one of those tokens which was featured as a major upgrade on the eBay platform. So I've actually gone out on X recently and just featured some of the major upgrades. So we did get ICP as an upgrade. We got Litecoin as an upgrade. Solana as an upgrade. There's quite a few others. I think we had Doge was a major upgrade. Before the big move up yesterday, we got a big upgrade on Doge. So there's been some really interesting ones. And I still think, as I said yesterday, with Toncoin, it's been languishing a little bit. And it's quite interesting. You see some of these coins, they tend to move out of sync slightly. When you see some of them, particularly, that's why I said about XRP, by the way, it was languishing a little bit. Yes, we've seen a good move up from 50 to 54. It's not even 10%, it's 8% or something. So over the past few days, it's not a massive move for XRP, but sometimes some of those tokens which are languishing a little bit, others like Ethereum, which has been rocketing ahead, Ethereum might then take a rest and XRP will then perhaps pump. And I know one very successful trader, and this is what he does. He basically really pump, switches out and switches into another token, which is waiting for a pump. And he tends to stay in crypto all the time, but he will just go into those which are lagging others when, especially in a bull market, he does really, really well. Very, very smart trader.
In a bull market, that strategy, I've had good luck with that strategy as well. In a bear market, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, most people suffer in a bear market, and it's a very dangerous thing, especially with crypto, to go short. I mean, I know some people who do well in bear markets as well. Oh, just interesting, this Toncoin again, we did say that there's going to be some upside from this point here, and we can see there was very serious upside, but we have had a kind of corrective pullback. It looks like it's an ABC, and if we moved it onto the 4-hour, I'm sure it would be a bit clearer. Quite clearly, again, we see overlap here. This level here overlaps this down here, etc. So it's an overlapping corrective move. So again, we would definitely hope to get more upside. Should take us beyond this previous $7 area. So we're at 6.6 now, and the previous high was about 7.4. So in percentage terms, might not sound a lot, but percentage terms, it's a lot. And we could see some really positive moves there. So all in all, and again, there's another one, sorry, we mentioned. Render was yet another one we mentioned on eBay as an upgrade. It's up 3.25 this morning. It was up a load yesterday as well. So there's been some very, very positive moves. So all in all, positive day. The likelihood is at the moment looking to continue. But what I think we'll probably do tomorrow is take another look back at some of those fundamental data, the economic drivers behind it, and we'll look for when the next price moving news is likely to be from the American economy in particular. But we'll take a little bit of a look around the world and see what's going on with the economies. Geopolitically, it's almost a black swan. We can never really quite tell what's going to happen there. But assuming we get some stability on the geopolitical front, we will look at the economic news, because that is a big driver, and that's actually what started this big rally. If you just think back only a few days, Bruce, that's when we had those. We had weak GDP, which was actually positive for crypto. It showed the economy was slowing down. We got slightly lower inflation figures, and that was the final boost we got, wasn't it? Where inflation came out a little bit lower than expected, the CPI. A lot of people were predicting it's going to continue to push higher. It reduced by about 0.2%, and that's what initiated this rally now. That's what started Bitcoin on the rally back from the upper 50s to where we are now in the 70s again. So we need to keep a close eye, and as I say, that's where I think we should have our focus perhaps tomorrow. So all in all, that's a wrap for today, and hopefully everyone's in profit.
Yeah, everyone should be in profit. Well, amazing, Matt, and thanks for rushing on, getting on. I have it's really an amazing time. Bull markets are always so fun. You know, they are. I'll pull you down here and I'll do. Let me see here. Here we go. Bull markets are always so fun, right? I mean, you know, everything. I would tell people last bull market, what do I buy? And I just buy. Okay, just buy. It's all going up. So it'll be cool. And I think everything's going to pump into consensus, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've got an axe to grind, of course, here, but actually, I genuinely do look at eBay, find out what the upgrades are there, but I don't just buy the upgrades automatically, because that's only one part of due diligence. But it helps me identify which tokens have some real promise, and then I'll go and do my due diligence, look at my charts, look at what's going on behind the scenes, and then I'll perhaps buy. Because I just noticed ADA, Cardano was yet another one we had featured as a major upgrade on the eBay ratings, and just look at that. We had something like 25% gain in the past couple of days.
Here, I just pulled the chart back on. So ADA, yeah, this is Cardano. Actually, we do have some people from the foundation coming to the gala as well. Yeah, I mean, this one is gonna pump quite a bit. It's gonna do well. You know, there's a lot of money behind that. Charles Hoskinson is one of the founders of Ethereum. Everybody knows him. He's a very well-known person. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so that was 25% in just a matter of days on a token. Again, it was upgraded by eBay, but again, we did some DD. We looked at the chart patterns, and it looked like we're definitely going to get some push higher. So if you can get 25%, if you're now locked in below this, what's called doji candle here, just locked in your profit there with a stop loss, then if price goes high, you can make even more. But if it pulls back, you can still probably lock in 20% of your gain. And if you make 20% on your investments in a week, you've got to be happy, surely.
You got to be happy, and that's Eve. So I have an interview queued up here, so I'm going to cut away in a minute. But make sure, guys, to check out Eve, Eve.io. This is kind of the brainchild of Matt Dixon here. I've used it very successfully in the past to follow market signals and really, really do well. 10x, 5-10x on what I was doing. I put it in as the signals went up. I put money in as it changed down. Even if it looked like it was still going good, I pulled it out, and I just did that, and it was very successful. So check that out, Eve.io. Matt, look forward to seeing you tomorrow, brother.
Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for your time. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
All right, cheers. So I have Bryant Nelson. Bryant Nelson, he is one of the founding members of the GBA. Remember, we were at the Government Blockchain Association event there in DC. It was an amazing event. A lot of high caliber people were there. And I sat down with Bryant Nelson. Bryant, is that right? Bryant D. Nelson. And we had a quick conversation. I'm going to put that right here. Boom. Here we go. And he was actually as well running the stage, which I'm very familiar with. As you guys probably know, I run a lot of the stages where I am speaking at. These days, I'm doing so many interviews, it's hard to do. But let's take a listen. This is Bryant Nelson, and he's going to share with you exactly who he is as well.
And we are back here at the GBA, Government Blockchain Association's The Future of Money, Governance, and the Law. Great event here right in the heart of Washington, D.C. Beautiful day we have today. I have with me here Bryant D. Nielsen, and he is the CEO of the Web3 Certification Board. And he's working, guys, in Texas as well. As you know, those of you who are watching on your TVs in Texas, we're all over Texas. So tell me a little bit, Bryant, about what you're doing and what brought you here to the GBA event.
Sure. So I'll start with what brought me here to the GBA event. I've been actually involved with the GBA event since its inception. I was the chairman actually for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Right. So very, very deeply involved. And then even at this conference, I moderate. So I MC all of the conferences currently. But coming down to what brought me here is I'm also the CEO of the Web3 Certification Board. And the Web3 Certification Board specializes in creating Web3 certifications for Web3 technologies. But more specifically, part of our conversation before this was we were talking about Texas. And so I was just mentioning that House Bill 8, which passed in Texas last year, fundamentally changed how community colleges in Texas were funded. And while previously they were funded in such a way that they were based on enrollment, now it is based on certifications. And so we're actually working very deeply with Dallas College, which is the largest community college in Texas, in terms of creating certifications now that they can use, STEM certifications, that they can use in conjunction with their certification mandate now.
Well, it's pretty, it's taken a while, right? It's been a long, just like the GBA. It's taken a while. I mean, I've known Gerard for a long time. You have too. To get here, beautiful setup in this building. The background, those videos are going to be absolutely amazing. I'm sure you can't wait. Also, some great speakers
Yes.
that have been here. Unbelievable. But getting things on to a set level, right? To have some certifications so that people know how to move forward. It's so important.
Yes.
It's so important. So what you're doing there in Texas, I haven't heard of other states doing that. Are there other states?
They're not.
States doing it?
So
Okay.
Texas has actually taken the lead in terms of this new process. There are others. There's 4 other states that are talking about this, but Texas has really taken this very proactive method of saying that certifications are really where the future is of education. And so it's not just going there and having a course on, I don't know, basket weaving, and then saying like, great, I'm a great basket weaver. It's really trying to provide real certifications that will actually provide real employment and income for those who have it.
Well, that's amazing. And so you're based in Texas, I'm guessing?
I am not. I'm actually based here in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there you go.
How we ended up with Dallas College was we ended up with them simply because we'd been reaching out to them. And then when this House Bill 8 changed the rules, they made a very conscientious effort to actually say, this is something we need, so let's work together.
Interesting. So you're here, you notice or you see this has changed. You start to put that into implementation. Now, Consensus is coming up. That's in Austin, Texas, of course. Are you going to be there?
No, I'm going to be at my son's wedding in Puglia, Italy.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Puglia, I was just in Italy. My wife's family is from Treviso,
Okay.
just outside of Venice.
Yep.
Beautiful. Where is Prio?
So Puglia is down in the heel of the boot.
Okay.
So if you looked at the heel, it's down at the very bottom. But it's also the region that produces the most olive
Oil.
olive oil.
Yes. Very famous for the olive oil in their wine. They love their olive oil. Right?
That they do.
I mean, they can eat olive oil on anything. Yeah, everything's better with olive oil if you ask an Italian person. It's true. It's true. Well, really cool. So, how are you? And I'm sure you probably got to get back to the States. How are you? How do you think this event has stacked up against the other events? And what do you see for the future of GBA the rest of the year?
Actually, I'm going to have to say this. So I'm the moderator.
Yeah.
So if we could pause it here, I will come back and answer that.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll pause and we'll end either way. Brian, you're the man. Thank you so much for coming on. See you soon.
Hats off to my man Gerard Daché and his wonderful wife for putting on such an amazing event. You know, they've been working at this for over 6 years, maybe even longer. I think I was there in the initial days when they were really putting this all together. But such a high caliber level of people that they're able to bring to this event. Obviously, Washington, D.C. is a wonderful place. I mean, depending on how you look at it, right? A lot of wonderful people here. A lot of really smart people are in Washington, D.C. And most of them want to do the right thing. You know, whether how it shakes out or not. But the Government Blockchain Association, you see if you're watching on X, it's GBA Global on X. Make sure to give them a follow. They've been doing an excellent work, and they continue. So they throw this event at least a couple of times a year. It might even be every quarter. The future of money, governance, and the law. And it's been a wonderful relationship. We had Gerard Daché speak at our very first Washington Elite AI and Blockchain Summit, which we haven't done one of those in a while. We normally just do the galas now. But we went, we had our good friend, of course, President Vitt from Liberland was also there. We've had him on the show a number of times. And it's funny because, you know, it's sometimes every once in a while, as you sit there and you look at some of the things going on and you say, wow, you know, I had a big part. I played a role in that, and I connected, of course, President Vitt and Gerard Daché, and then that relationship has been very fruitful for Liberland and for the GBA, and then as well, you know, we have what was the other thing? Well, then of course we're with at Brock Pierce's place there, and anyway, and then I didn't remember what it was, and then of course Liberland and President Vitt and the Habsburg, Sander Habsburg and his family and his group there just did an event in Serbia. I wasn't able to go. They didn't invite me, but I wasn't able to go. And of course I introduced those and worked to really push that forward as well. So as you start to, as you've been in it a long time, sometimes you look around and you say, wow, you know, every once in a while you sit back and you say, wow, that's pretty cool that's what flowered out of that, you know, and so that's really cool. Hats off to everybody. People are really working it. You know, we're in a time in the world where it requires everybody to try hard. And that's what I tell a lot of my, the people that are close to me, that you have to try hard at life. You have to try hard. And the reason you have to try hard is because, one, that's the right thing to do. But the other reason is you have to try hard because there's other people that are trying really hard. And so you have to try hard at life. And you have to try to make things that are amazing and make things that are special. And that's one reason why we do the Washington Elite Gala. It brings these things into focus. It makes them, it illuminates them. We're able to focus on these wonderful things. As well, you know, we do a lot of the disabled sporting events that we've done over the years are absolutely fantastic. we are looking to get back at the Olympic Training Center, and I am going to go ahead and put that up there so you can see it. And we're gonna close out with this. We're looking to get back to the Olympic Training Center in Lake Placid to do the blind bobsled and some blind hockey here this winter. But take a look at this. This is just a short clip, and then we'll close out. This is the guys they're playing. We played hockey on the Olympic ice there, and then we went on to bobsled. This is just like less than a minute. And here we are.
Day 2 of helping visually impaired veterans. Today it's Veterans Day, and we're going bobsledding. How are you feeling, man? Are you excited?
That's one of the blind veterans there. About to go down the bobsled. Directly. Then there's some music in the background that was added by somebody. It's funny, you know, you try to get videos and you try to get pictures of everything, but it's never enough. That's one of the things that we were able to do. It was amazing for the blind athletes. It was an amazing thing to do. Doing things that are bigger than yourself are amazing, and they're important, and we should all strive to do things that are bigger than ourselves, and that's what it's all about. I am signing off here, my friends. We will be back on your TVs in 7 hours as well, and we will see many of you streaming very soon. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of